Hi, welcome. In this video I would like to answer a question as I promised earlier. And it's from a friend of mine. Was actually the only one who had balls to put a question online. And I really appreciate that. And putting a question online is actually a sign of strength. It's not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength when you ask for help. And although at first glance it doesn't look like asking for help, but when somebody puts a question, it's always some kind of asking for help. And asking for help is a very good thing because it's through sharing experience, through sharing knowledge, to doing things together that we grow stronger, that we grow our networks, that we can achieve much more. So I'm always happy when people are willing to open up in either way, either by sharing or by asking for somebody to share. So I really appreciate this, so thank you, Mihai. And so what Mihai said was that he hasn't spent any time or money on books, seminars, or gurus, magic, to-do lists to improve himself. He simply doesn't want to go through the trouble. Remember the word trouble. He believes that he can sufficiently do this on his own. And sometimes this means the hard way. And then at the end there is a very short question: should I feel bad? So first of all, don't feel bad. There's no need to feel bad. I think that to a certain extent you never need to feel bad. Feeling bad is just a waste of your energy in general. I'm not talking to Mihai now. I'm going to answer this question in general. So also for your information, when you put a question, I'll answer your question, but I'll use it to answer a bigger question, or a question that is there. I know it's there, that a lot of people have it. So it will almost never be a very personal answer. Also because when I'm going to make it personal, then I'll send it personally to the person. And then I'll need to ask for approval to make it public. So this is going to be a general answer with some things that will relate to the person who asked the question. But this answer can benefit a lot of people. So there are many aspects, so this will not be a very short video. First of all, we are all gurus of ourselves. 1 second. Kuba! Tata! Sorry, it's the dog. We have a dog here who sometimes starts compulsively licking and then create an injury. Sorry. So, everyone is his own guru. And being your own guru is something you can Google and you can find a lot of details about that. So I will not go in depth there. But in short, what it means is you know deep inside best what's good for you. And what I do, for example, in my work, I will not tell you what's best for you to do or not to do, what to eat, what not to eat. I can give advice, but when I work with people, when they ask me direct questions and I give them direct answers, I either ask them more questions to put them to think, or I help them, I guide them towards themselves, inside themselves, so they can find their own answers, because what's good for me may not be good for you, and vice versa. But deep inside I know what's best for me, and deep inside you know what's best for you. And that's the guru. It has been the way for millennia, and mainly through social pressure, that some people were elevated compared to other people. So some people were considered to be gods, or said themselves that they were gods, and that the rest was inferior to them. So whatever they were saying was the greatest wisdom, was the truth, and everyone had to follow them. And it is, or it has become, actually, I believe that by nature we're not like this, but it has become a thing that people do look outside themselves for answers on how to do things, on how to feel, on how to behave, how to be, how to anything. And this has been stimulated by society. This has been stimulated, used, and mainly abused by people who want to be in power. Because to be in power the traditional way, to dominate people, to rule over people, they need to feel less than you. And preferably a lot less than you. So this is why religions are so popular, because there is this being called God, Allah, Jehovah, whatever, Buddha, up there, who's much better than you, and he will tell you how to live your life and what to do, and you will never ever be as good as he is. And some make him even very dangerous, so if you don't do exactly what he tells you, he will make you suffer. In Buddhism they don't do that. They're a little bit more civilized, I would say. So basically in religion, in most religions, it's ruling with fear. That's also how governments have been ruling, with fear, and still do. And this is one way of not really growing. If you go that path, you don't grow. So feeling bad, to come back to that, is feeling that you did something wrong. So there's the fear of I'm not good enough. So that's a negative feeling. Looking up to others for all the wisdom is not the answer either. Looking to others to see, okay, how did they solve that problem? That is not ignoring yourself, but that's looking like, okay, I don't need to invent the wheel myself. Every time I want to do something, I can look for others. Me, myself, for example, I use YouTube a lot to look how to solve certain problems, practical problems. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I look at it and I take from the video what works for me. What I feel will work for me. If it's on personal development level, it's what works for me. If it's in a practical level, when I try to repair something, even then I look, because maybe I don't have all the tools the person has in the video, but I look like, okay, so he did that, okay, I get an idea, and I look, okay, for me this would be the best way, because I have this tool instead of that one, and whoop, then I resolve my problems. And sometimes I don't find it all. So there is no perfect way when it comes to looking for the answer outside of you. Looking for the answer inside of you is, as far as I know, the best way, but not everyone knows how to do it. So for that you can look for help. You can learn by practicing, and not to have to invent the wheel by yourself. You look for a few ways to do it. So you look at other people who say, or who you saw do manage to do it, and then look, okay, how did they do it? It's like when I went to a course of yoga and meditation. I went there because I had a burnout and I really wanted to relax again, to not be stressed. And the teacher taught us a lot of different things, and I chose what felt good for me, what I could integrate in my life, what I felt good with, what I liked, what I could actually do. Because doing a meditation of 1 hour for me was total suffering. Doing yoga was physically suffering. So I chose the short meditation, the 3-minute meditation, the one that I also put on my website for people to download. Because for me, 3-minute meditation was something I could apply at work, where I had the most stress, because there's always a moment where, yeah, you can just leave your desk and you go to the toilet and nobody will bother you for at least 3 minutes. And then you do your meditation. And then you come back to your desk with an empty mind, very calm, and you clearly see what you have to do again, and then you become very efficient. It worked for me. It's something you can do everywhere. And nowadays I even managed to do it in less than 3 minutes. For other people, the 1 hour or the 2-hour meditation was the only way for them to really relax. So they would do the 2 or 3 hours. And that's fine. The teacher was mad at me after 6 months when we had a comeback day, and she saw what I was doing, and that when I already told her that I was doing actually only the 3 minutes meditation and the walking meditation, which is walking very consciously and feeling your feet touching the ground, because I liked to walk a lot, and yeah. And she was upset because I didn't do everything she taught us the way she taught us. And I was like, are you serious? And I looked around the room and I looked at the whole group. Not even everyone showed up after 6 months. And I looked at her again, and I just decided I would not say anything. But what I saw was that from the whole group, I was the one who was back on track, who was leading the most normal life from the whole group. And yeah, some of them were much deeper into the burnouts when we started 6 months before. Some were not. But that was not an excuse. I just saw that I was back on track. I could lead my life quite normally. And yeah, that was why I came in the first place. So I got exactly what I needed by selecting what worked for me. So, in my opinion, that lady just didn't have a clue of what she was doing. Because teaching is not about telling people exactly how to do something, like it is the only way. Teaching is sharing and allowing people to take what works for them. There is not one way of doing something. There are many ways. You may think there's one way, or you may think there's only one right way, but it's from your perspective, not from mine, not from the other 7 billion people perspective. So there's no good and wrong here. That's what's best for you. And this is what personal development is about. It's personal development, not general development. It's not how do I fit in the box that somebody decided is the right size, because that is what most of traditional education is about, fitting in a box. And don't dare to get out of the lines, to step out. You see a lot of discrepancies in society because of this. Because of people saying that everyone should fit in the same box, and then when somebody doesn't, he's immediately outcasted, he's a bad person, he's a criminal, he's a whatever. Because he thinks differently, because he is simply differently, or he doesn't want to be a drone. I am different than you, than all of you watching. That's fine. And each of you is different from all of us. That's fine too. If you would be all the same, it would be a very boring world. I saw a question this morning posted like, if you could choose, who would you like to be? Me, of course. For me, it's not even a question that you ask. If you ask it, it's a very profound question, because I would say the real me, the one inside, not the one in my mind, because my mind has been influenced by a lot of stuff around me, by a lot of teachings, because I also have gone to school for many years. And yeah, teachers were telling us how to be, how to think, how to behave. No, the true me, is different from everyone else. The true you as well. We are all unique. And this uniqueness is what makes us so beautiful. This uniqueness is what makes us so rich. Stop trying to be like someone else, like your idol, like a guru, like whoever you're looking up to. Because there's nobody to look up to. There's only looking inside to see who you truly are, and try to be that on the outside as well. Not try, start doing it. And I told you to remember when I read, what was it? I'm reading on my screen now. Yeah, the hard way. He said sometimes the hard way. My friend is doing everything himself, which is great, without help. Which is not completely true, because I know for a fact that sometimes he talks with people and he has an idea, and then he looks for solutions and for other ideas or sub-ideas to fine-tune what he wants to do, or to test his idea. But in general, he does a lot himself. He tries to resolve everything by himself. And almost never asks for help. And then he says, okay, this means sometimes doing it the hard way. Yeah. The hard way in this case, because I checked something. I did the Gene Keys profile of this friend of mine. And the Gene Keys, you can Google it. You can make free. You can download a free profile of yourself. For that, you need your birth date, location, and time. And just to clarify something, and I will make a nice video on this, we are not influenced by the position of the stars when we were born. That's a total misconception. I believe in reincarnation. If you believe that you have a soul, then the soul came into this body, and what we did before we came into this body is that we knew, or we decided on what we wanted to learn, what we wanted to experience this lifetime. So we had a mission, things we wanted to do, and because our memories are wiped, we needed a way to figure out or to remember our to-do list. In order to do that, we created a system which would be like a GPS, like we have GPS today, and we say, okay, Piazza Victoriae is on whatever number, latitude and longitude, and that's how you can find your location. It's like a map, and we did that with the stars, with the planets, with time, with dates, and then we decided, okay, to learn all these things, this is where we're gonna do it, and this is gonna be linked to that specific date and time. Basically on the map, you put the dot on the map, so this is where we will be, and every dot on that map being a date, a time, location, is the coordinates for the to-do list. It's like in your computer, you have an index where all your files are registered, and if you know the location, you can find the file and you can read what's written in the file. And this is how it's set up. And this is why, if you do a very accurate look in any kind of these systems, any kind of these sciences, you will find what you came to do. And yes, people born on the same location, same time, same date, yeah, they're on the same spot of the map, so they will have similar things. That's why perfect twins have very similar life patterns. And I'll go more in depth in a specific video on this. So let go of the, but it doesn't make sense that when these stars are there, then that influence. No, no, no. It's just a map. A map for your soul to remember the to-do list. That's it. So I use the gene keys in this case because I felt very strongly when I read this paragraph that there was something there when it came to doing things the hard way or struggling. And what I found is a specific gene, gene 38, which has as essence honor. I'm not talking about honor the ego way. No, honor the profound way, soul way. What has as gift perseverance, and as shadow slash challenge struggle. And in this specific case, the gene is located in attraction. So what this person, a person who has gene 38 in attraction, will attract struggle, will create situations where, yeah, it can go the easy way, but actually the hard way is always there. And you can read, if you download this specific gene 38 from the Gene Keys, you can read how this translates. And there's also in the profile a dot, and it can be dot 4, which is frigidity, romance. I don't know how this translates specifically, but it's explained. Also, you have 6 different lines, and for each of every one of you next to your gene, you will have from 1 to 6 a line. And when you read this, you will understand and you will recognize, I guarantee you 99.99% for sure, you will recognize what the gene is about, and that is what is been happening to you in your life, probably all of your life till now. And when you understand this, then you understand where your lessons are and how you can learn your lesson quicker and yeah, make things go smoother. You will realize why you have been suffering in general in your life, in many different areas, because we all have suffering in our lives. And you will also start to realize how, first that you did transform suffering into non-suffering in certain areas of your life, and how you managed to do that, and how you can do it even faster and in an easier way, and make your life more relaxed, make your life more fun. Because at the end, what we came to do is to have a lot of experiences and to learn to become happy. Not happy by grabbing stuff from the outside, buying stuff, owning stuff, getting stuff, but just inside us being happy. And I created a whole program for that, an online program that you can find on my website. You'll find it under events, upcoming events, you can click it there. And that program is about how to be simply happy. Because we don't need objects to be happy. We don't need other people to be happy. Objects are just tools that we can use. People are just there to help us to learn something, or to do something together, to achieve something together. But it's not because we are with somebody or we own something, or if we will have somebody or something in our lives, then we will be happy, that will make us happy. Well, you probably noticed every time you bought something you wanted very badly, after some time your happiness was gone. Probably after an hour or two, or maybe a day or two. True happiness is deep inside, and you can reach that on your own, which is the hard way. And some people need to do this for a while by themselves, because that's how they come to realize that they can do a lot by themselves. They need that. It's a process for some people. I need to prove to myself that I can do it. And some other people feel like I have nothing to prove to myself because I know I can, but why would I choose the hard way if I can do it the easy way? And the easy way is not the shortcut, is not the cheating. No. The easy way can be a natural and easy way. Like sometimes discussing, like what I do. I have a few friends with whom I discuss things when I get into an impasse. I do not know exactly how to deal with something. I discuss, and then often they share with me what they have gone through, and then that gives me a different perspective on things. Like, oh hey, I didn't see that point. Interesting. And sometimes they simply ask me questions which put me to think and get me to find the answer by myself. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, and it doesn't make me weaker. Actually, it makes me stronger, because I'm not afraid to ask for help, and I'm also not afraid to admit that I don't know something. And I'm not afraid also of the questions they may ask me, because sometimes they ask me quite some deep questions which put me to think or to realize that I have been doing something in a way that really doesn't align with who I am. And I'm like, and yeah, sometimes you feel uncomfortable, like, ooh, that was really stupid or not nice. But hey, we are in the school of life, so yeah, we may make mistakes, but they're not really mistakes. They're just lessons we're learning in different ways. So let go of the judgment. Just be happy when you learn a lesson that you learned it. That's it. And I believe that in sharing, you help a lot of other people, and other people will be helping you when they are also sharing. So, back to Mihai, yes, you can keep doing everything on your own. That's fine. And maybe one day you will realize that you do not need to prove yourself anymore to yourself or to anybody else. In general, you don't need to prove yourself to anybody. This applies for everyone. It's bullshit. When people say, oh, prove to me that... No. Why should I prove to you anything? If I know that I can do something, that's enough. I don't owe anyone any proof. I know that what I'm doing it for a very good reason. I know when I'm lying that I'm lying. I know when I'm speaking the truth that I'm speaking the truth, and I don't need to prove either of them. So, yeah, Mihai, do what you feel good with. That's most important, because if you feel good with what you do, you'll be happy. And in general, when people are not happy, it means they're not aligned with themselves. So when, for example, you try to do everything by yourself and you still don't get happy, then try asking for help, just to see if this is the reason. You can also go into meditation, whatever form of meditation. But when you say meditation, it's not biking fast, it's not jogging. Meditation is when your brain really has nothing left to do, and that's why meditation is generally sitting still, laying still, enjoying a shower or laying in a bathtub. And then when there is no action at all, and the mind slowly stops running and spinning and screaming things, then the soul can be heard. And you can ask yourself, you can put the question and then go into relaxation. And then once there is a silence, the soul can speak. Or the soul may be trying to speak all the time, but your mind's like blah, 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 and you cannot hear your soul saying, hello, I would like to go this way. Because your mind's like blah, 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 blah. Oh, there's that thing. Oh, did you know that that thing can do this? And did you know that oh, there's that thing. Oh, be careful. Blah. No, that's how the mind works. And the mind is screaming all the time because the mind thinks that he needs to do everything. But your mind is no more than a computer that should follow the orders of the soul. And then the computer can calculate how to do something, how to get somewhere. It's like your GPS. Your GPS is not telling you like, tomorrow you need to go see the doctor. No. You, deep inside, no, I need to go and see a doctor. How do I get there? GPS, get me to Piazza Victoria number 3. And the GPS will tell you, take a left turn, take a right turn, go straight, stop, you arrived. Okay. So, yeah, feel. Do it with love, love for yourself, with compassion, and you'll know what's best for you. And like I said, each of us is free to do everything the way he or she wants. Alone, together, sometimes alone, sometimes together. It's all up to you. But the essence, the goal is to find inner peace, to be happy. And I said inner peace, not outside peace. When you have inner peace, then the outside cannot affect you anymore. And it's not by changing your circumstances on the outside that you will find the inner peace. A lot of people say, yeah, but if I change jobs, then no, maybe you're simply running away. If you don't find the inner peace, the other job will not give you the inner peace. You need to find inner peace, and then you can change jobs, if you still want, after finding the inner peace. Some people say, I need to take another house because here there's too much noise and I get crazy. Stop. You can find your inner peace, even with noise around you. Once you find it, you'll know if you really need to change houses or not. Because some people go to the countryside and they still don't have inner peace. It's totally silence, or you only hear some birds and a cow or a dog, and they're still stressed because it has nothing to do with the noises. No, probably the birds will annoy them in the morning when they wake up, because there's no inner peace. And I can tell you, birds can make a lot of noise. I woke up for 10 days in the Caribbean early in the morning by about 50 to 100 birds, all screaming out loud. Yeah, it was screaming, it wasn't saying like wee, 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 wee. It was really super loud. It didn't stress me. Yeah, they woke me up, and then I remembered how beautiful they are, and I would go back to sleep. And for me it became music. And still, when thinking about it, when I remember it, I have a smile, because I remember, yeah, that was a very nice way of waking up, actually. A nicer way than beep 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 from all the cars around and vroom vroom vroom. No, the birds, yes, they were actually much louder than the cars here, because I live in the city center. But it had to do with the inner peace. I would wake up and then realize the beauty, and then go back to my inner peace and fall asleep again. And sometimes I would get up early and go outside and watch them and listen to them. But it came all from in here. So please feel what's best for you. Don't be afraid to try something else or to change course. If you feel that that's what you have to do, you do it. And ignore a bit people around you, and what marketing is telling you, what society is telling you, whatever institution is telling you. Feel you know best. I hope I've answered multiple questions of you, the viewers, and I hope that you, Mihai, you got some insights. I suggest you read Gene 38 and feel. You have nothing to lose to read a paragraph. I mean, an A4, maybe 2 A4s, I don't know, don't remember exactly. To read and see what you feel. You may feel something, you may feel nothing. The worst that can happen is that you spend 5 to 10 minutes on it. 5 to 10 minutes on a whole life is nothing. But if it helps you, it's a lot. If it doesn't help you, it was only 5 to 10 minutes. So guys, looking forward to your questions. Yeah, post your questions and I'll make a video to answer them, just for fun. Have a beautiful day.